Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you a really cool team you can use for this faction assault in the Wild Court. This team will do you from the very first level all the way up to level 500. It's really easy to use as well. But pop to the shop first, grab yourself a tier 1. If your horde level is on level 100 in the Wild Court, you will already have a tier 1 stored, so you'll get it effectively for free. But if you intend to buy any of these other tiers, then you do have to buy them in order, so you know, you're forced to buy tier 1 anyway. Like, I want this weapon here, so I'm going to have to buy up to tier 4, so I have to buy tier 1 anyway. But you do get a potion of enchantment, which is really, really cool. So I'm going to grab these other tiers while I'm here. Get a potion of explosion, which usually messes up a really good board start. It's like, the amount of times you think, oh, that's a lovely 5 match there, thank you very much. And then the potion of explosion comes along and says, nah, I'll ruin that for you. That's the way it goes. Right, so we've got our new weapon. Happy days. Let's have a look at the team. Right, I've done the first battle to lock the team in, so let's take a look at the team. Fairly standard team for this, when you can use these mana colours, but I will explain a couple of alternatives as well if you don't have 2 Teslas or you don't have the Shield of Erskaya, for example. But the way this team works is Tesla just does massive damage to the enemy. Deals 8 true scatter damage boosted by all ally and enemy armor. So the more powerful the enemy gets on those delves where the enemy starts getting really high stats, it actually works against them, and Tesla just does more and more damage. But we can boost up that damage even further. Holy St. Astra gives 1 boost, gives life and armor to all allies based on your magic. It creates a light storm, which is yellow, so that's only really good for her. But it doesn't matter, because she enchants all humans as well as gives all humans a 50% start with mana, which is both our Teslas and Holy St. Astra. Now, if you don't have 2 Teslas, then you can pop in something like a Tina 9000 will do heavy damage in this. True damage as well, which is really good. If you don't have a Tina 9000, maybe something like a Venoxia will work really well as well. Just make sure it does true damage. You don't want to actually hit the enemy with normal damage, taking away their armor, because this reduces the amount of damage that our Teslas do. Shield of Erskaya, really, really good for this. Gives an ally a big boost in armor, boosted by all enemy attack. So again, the more powerful the enemy gets, the more this works against them. Just makes it more and more powerful. Then enrage and barrier them. But one really important thing to notice about the Shield of Erskaya is, if you have this upgraded, is it has shielding, which means it gets a barrier whenever you cast it. So it's almost a waste for you to cast this on yourself. It doesn't matter who the armor boost goes on, it's still going to aid Tesla's spell. So when you cast this, make sure you cast on somebody else who hasn't got a barrier. And you will notice that Shield of Erskaya gets a barrier anyway. And we're going to get more barriers because we're going to be in Geomancer class for this. This is really important. You don't need to be in a human class for this to be effective. Yes, Holy St. Astra does enchant all humans, but we're not going to need that because the amount of damage we're going to do from our Teslas is going to be so effective. We're going to have barriers all the time as well. And we can get enchanted anyway, and I'll show how. Geomancer class. For a start, we're going to get a 50% start with mana anyway, as well as reduce damage from skulls by 50%. The human class, which is okay for this, is War Priest, I think it is, but it's not as good as this. There's not hardly anything in the upgrade path which actually gives you substantial benefits. Where this, you get Impact, inflict stun when enemies deal skull damage to me. You get Anti-Magic Sphere, reduce damage by 20%. You gain 3 magic at the start of battle. Rock Solid, you gain a barrier when matching brown gems. So we're going to have a barrier a lot on this. We're going to get a barrier if we want, whenever we cast the Shield of Erskaya by collecting a brown. We're going to get a life boost from Holy St. Astra. And we get enchant anyway. Gain enchant when matching green gems, as well as fortitude, immune to stun, poison, disease, death mark, lycanthropy, and devour. So yeah, for me, far better to use a Geomancer class for this. I do like this than one of the human classes. So let's take it out there. Just show the thing quick. +2 brown, +1 red, -1 purple. That is the thing. That is officially now known as a thing. I said I was going to show you the thing, and I showed you the thing. The banner, effectively. Right. So what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was going to collect some red. Don't care about that single skull hit, because Tesla says, get the fudge out of here. And onwards and upwards. Let's go for a wander through this cave. Explosion's going to happen. Let's get Tesla ready to rock and roll. And do tons of damage. What I'll do, I'll just do this level now, and I'll jump forward onto the hardest delve and show you how we'll do it like that. So again, we'll just get our stuff to Tesla. The boost is like 178, even on this low level, so it's absolutely huge. She just one-shots everyone, just electrifies them to death, like bzzz, plugs them into the mains, turns it on, done. Okay, now I'll show the same team in the Wild Court on the hardest level you can do it on. Oh, that's my Delve team I used for this. Because to get the extra 500 points, to get all the points maximum from this, you need to use teams that are from the Delve only. And that's what I've done. Wild Knight, Red Cap, the Wendigo, Puka. Really, really good. I think that was fairly straightforward, actually. I might start a series on these soon, showing my the faction teams that I've done for doing the Delve on the hardest level. But anyway, I've got to edit this team now, because that is not the team which we had here. So let me just do this quick. Shield of Askaya. Kaboosh. Holy St. Astra. There you go. And 2 lots of Tesla. Like that. The banner was... that one. I like to get the +2 for the brown to get the shield up nice and early. And the class was a Geomancer, because there's so many benefits from it. Right, so let's show how I'd do this on the harder levels. So look at those enemy stats. 134 attack. Over 200 life and armor each. Absolutely crazy. But we can start by cast. If she's up and ready to go, you can do it to get a nice boost straight away. It's going to immediately increase the power output. Sometimes it is better to take these rather than actually take a hit back. But you can check the damage first. The boost is 466. So that is going to actually do... well, you got 2 of these, remember. Because the second one is up the next round, that's going to be a combined like 900 odd. That's over 1,000. I think this is enough to actually wipe them out. Yeah, it is. Plenty. There you go. Not quite. My maths was bad. It's early in the morning. I blame it on that. So like I say, what I said at the beginning of the video about the Shield of Skya, it's best to cast it on somebody else. Like, you watch this. I cast it on my Tesla, and I, as a hero, will get a barrier anyway because of the upgrades. There you go. It's 2 barriers for the price of 1. It's an absolute bargain. So all we've got to do now is just get our second Tesla up again. And the job will be a good one. No, it won't, because one of them's got a barrier, so we need to take that away first. So we'll do that first, take away their barrier, then cast Tesla. And get Brown Slayer. So I say the cool thing about this team is you get so many barriers. It's not just like bish bash all your way through really easily. You do have to be a little bit careful. You don't want to be sloppy and give the enemy unnecessary hits sort of thing, but get the Shield of Skya cast nice and early, chuck it on somebody that hasn't got a barrier. As we see again, we've got now a barrier on each. Let's get our second Tesla up before we cast her, cast Holy St. Astra, get a further boost in armor. Now getting plus 669 damage. Wow. Second Tesla, ready to go. Nearly done. All we've got to do is get them charged up again, and the job is a good one. Use these spirit gems if you like. These are pretty good. We're going to take away 2 mana from their troops. Top 2 have got some. Top 2 troops have some mana, so we'll take some of that away. These spirit gems this week. It's a little late in the day for this tip actually, but it's making some of these delves a little bit easier because the AI doesn't use the spirit gems very well, but you can, and it actually stops the enemy from casting a lot of the time, which is really, really cool. So let's get that done. So yeah, this is a level 500, so this is as hard as it gets, and it's going to be an absolute walk in the park. Just be careful to give yourself a barrier when you need it on your top troop. There we go. Let's get ourselves a barrier. It's more important to give yourself a barrier on these higher levels. You get a barrier just by collecting brown. We then cast that on our Tesla. That's 2 of our troops now with a barrier. We can now increase our damage output even further. Cast both our Teslas. Charge the other Tesla up again, and the job will be done. Just need a blue or red from somewhere. Or can even cast Holy St. Astra when she's ready, and that will get Tesla up the next round. Bye, bye. Be on your way. Right, the last one. So this is as hard as it gets on this delve. And with this team, it's an absolute doddle. Might as well get that boost early. Shield of Oscar is up the next round, so we're still getting a good boost now, plus 701. We've got to cast the Tesla for a 3rd time anyway. So we may as well get this boost now, because we get a barrier on the top troop and whoever we cast it on. Not bothered about that skull hit there, because we have a barrier. We can cast Holy St. Astra now. That gets our Tesla on the way again to getting ready to do her stuff. Again, if you want to play it safe, you can grab that barrier there, because that's going to do nothing now from that skull hit. Now Tesla's up. Now everyone is just wiped out, and that job is done. Well, there's a video. There's a really cool team for that. Remember, if you don't have 2 Teslas, you can swap one out for a Tina 9000 or a Venoxia. That would be really effective as well. And if you don't have a Shield of Esquire, maybe a Mountain Crusher or any explodey weapon which doesn't mana block the other troops. But there it is. There's the team. If you enjoyed it, found it useful, helpful, any of those things, be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button, and feel free to share the video with your guild mates, hamsters, goldfish, and any other creatures and pets you may own. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.